Hey everybody, welcome to Members Only, a show centered around and focused on CMAC members and the projects they produce. My name is Johnny Pacina, and I'll be your host today. In this edition of Members Only, we'll be talking to the producers of two shows, Paranormal Journeys and Exodus. Up first is Jackie Meador, director of Central California Paranormal Investigators, to talk about her show, Paranormal Journeys, a show that investigates the unknown. But before we get started, let's take a look at a clip that gives us a quick look as to what the show is about.
This is where we get to talk and debate about all things paranormal, strange and just plain weird.
Are we opening on two? Well, that's quite a video. Today we have Jackie. Thank you for taking the time.
Sure.
And wow, I really enjoy working on your show, and I'm really surprised today because the tables have turned.
Yes.
I direct Paranormal Journeys, and I really enjoy it. And as you can see, and I'm sure our viewers can see how exciting the show can be from all those highlights we have at the beginning. But again, thank you for being on the show and taking the time out of your
Thanks
schedule.
for having me.
Yeah. So this time I will ask the questions. This is see how this turns out.
I don't know if I like this or not. I like to be in control.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. We'll make this quick and easy and painless. All right, so first off, I'm sure everyone wants to know a little bit more after watching that highlight. So tell us a little bit about the show.
Paranormal Journeys is probably a little different than most other talk shows, radio shows, whatever, internet shows, in that we take it from a perspective where we want to know what the journey the particular person is on. So it's not so much what evidence they capture, although that's always an added plus, but it's about their journey, their personal journey, and why they got started doing what they do. And it could either be hunting ghosts, chasing Bigfoot, watching the skies for UFOs, metaphysical mysteries, could be anything, urban legends,
Exactly.
So yeah. So it takes it from a perspective of how someone got started doing what they do and what they love to do.
Yeah, it seems like everyone has a personal experience with something that has touched their lives in a paranormal, experience or something they've seen, and they really want to try to find the answers, I guess. So that's great. We can highlight that on the show, and I really enjoy working with you on that.
Yeah. Thank you. I enjoy working with you too. It's we have a great crew. I mean, I've been fortunate that the same people keep volunteering for the crew. So, I'm able to work with the same people on a regular basis. So that makes it nice. It makes it consistent. We know what to expect of each other. So it makes it much nicer.
Yeah, that's great. We have a pretty solid crew, I would say. Yeah.
We
So with that in mind, how long would you say then have we been on air? I want to say it's, what was it, 2 years? We're coming up.
It's coming up on the 2-year mark in October.
Okay.
We premiered October 31st, 2013, I believe.
Yes,
so it'll be 2 years this October.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
time really flew there. Huh?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great though. We've really gone through certain changes in the show, evolutions. We've changed the set. We've gone on location. My most recent one, that was fun.
Change the music, change the background. At the year mark, I like to mix it up. I don't want to stay the same year after year.
Yeah, it's good to keep it fresh and keep it, definitely. So as we were just talking about, people have different experiences when it comes to the paranormal.
Correct.
And so maybe perhaps for you, what was your start? What kind of inspired you to want to create the show?
Oh, well, I've been investigating ghosts and hauntings for, about 15 years now. So we had filmed some documentaries. We'd done 4 documentaries. And I wanted to do something different, I think. There wasn't a TV-based paranormal show other than the reality shows, which, but I didn't want to get into that. There were just too many of them.
Right.
But I wanted a show on TV, and then a friend turned me on to CMAC, and so I went, this is kind of interesting. So we decided to switch over to do a talk show, an on-air talk show.
Great. Yeah, that's great because it goes back to sharing the experience, and to do that through a medium such as television. And I mean, as paranormal investigators, you use all sorts of technological devices, and to be able to show that in a visual, kind of get viewers an inside look into that. That's always interesting.
Yeah,
and a really, if I may add, also a really authentic way. You're not trying to sugarcoat it. You're not trying to fluff it up for TV or TV ratings. It's really raw, I guess, is a good way to explain it.
And we're the first. We were the first one to do this for TV locally. So there was no, or is no, as far as I know, other TV-based paranormal talk show. I mean, we are the first. So I mean, there's a lot of radio shows, internet shows, but not TV.
Not like this, and especially in this area too.
Yes.
It's pretty big. So with that in mind too, what are some of the challenges you face on the show? And I could probably answer some of that too.
Yeah, you would know more than I would.
But like being a director though, for you though as a producer, what are like some specific challenges you face? Whether it's trying to research for a story or I don't know, I guess just the production aspect of it, trying to get guests, it's always a challenge to book guests,
and that's
right?
probably, it's not a necessity for every show. My biggest, I think, job is to scan stories that are suitable for the show. I try to theme them, so we may have a show that deals with UFOs, may have some stories from social media, may have some stories from friends that I get posts from, and then we try to kind of base a show around that. Other might be crop circles, or might be ghosts, or might be urban legends, so specifically local urban legends like Joaquin Murrieta. So it's then I go into research mode. Once I've decided on that theme and who the guest is or not a guest, or what cluster of articles I've gotten for the show, then I go into research mode and then get everything I can, pictures and videos, and I like another segment. We've added 2 new segments since we started, and one is the books, movies, and TV and film. So we're highlighting a lot of independent indie films from people, and I get a lot of those, and we've highlighted them on the show. And some of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
But
they end up being the best, I think, better than the big budget films.
Yeah, and I've ordered them for my home collection. But so highlighting indie films, especially dealing with the paranormal. And then the other thing was As the Paranormal World Turns, where we get to kind of just poke fun at ourselves and tell stories that may make you laugh and, cry and bang your head in frustration. But
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we, like you were saying, we really try to keep it fresh, and those 2 segments, I think, add a lot to the show as well. So I'm glad we're able to do that. So coming it back to more CMAC focus now, what is some advice you get to some members, particularly that are possibly on this crew as well, who are thinking about starting a show? What is some advice you can give them to get them started, and some pointers?
Wow. Well, I've only really had experience with the talk show genre, so I would say if you were something that you want to do with any kind of a talk show format, I would say, line up, get your script done, get your outline done, how you want the show to play out. Do you want to get serious? Do you want serious stories? Do you want a spoof? Do you want, something else that you want to bring on guests, no guests? You want to have a co-host, no co-host? Get an outline done about what you really want to do, and what is your dream? What are you going to do with it? I think.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with, and just add to that too. It's what your passion is.
Sure.
If you're passionate about something, it's going to happen. It's going to look good. It's going to feel good, and people are going to be wanting to watch it. They can see the interest you have, and they get excited about it because you're excited. And I think that's key to a lot of good productions. And I'm glad that CMAC can be that sort of outlet for individuals. And
definitely.
Yeah. So.
Definitely. It definitely helps. That outline. It does. It does. Because I don't know how many times I changed it, but I definitely started with an outline of what I wanted the show to be and what I wanted it to focus on.
Right. So if I may, we have a few minutes here, but I want to just to add a little something here, I was actually a guest on the show too, which was an
Correct.
interesting dynamic as well.
Correct.
But one particular video, which that I remember specifically, was that these security footage of that was like a bar, and they saw this mist cloud.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So when it comes to videos like that, where do you find videos like that and search online? Does it just happen to be the latest paranormal buzz story, and you're able to add that to your show, or how do you encounter those types of stories when you're producing?
I subscribe to a couple of online e-mags, so I get them that way.
Okay.
I also get through Facebook or social media. Sometimes I'll run across something. And this is where you have to be careful because of copyrighted material. So just because it's on YouTube doesn't mean you get to, play it on your show. So you have to be very careful. I've contacted people, I've seen videos, and I've contacted the people that made it and gotten their permission. I don't think I've ever had somebody say no to me so far. So
That's
all the
great.
videos
Yeah.
that we've played, but I get them from different sources. Some are are compatible with the show. Some aren't. You know,
Right,
so.
yeah. But it's glad that you have that resource.
Yes.
Or, I mean, it's good that you
Yes.
can have that resource to do that. Yeah, because I'm always wondering, like, where did she get this video? How did she find this? I mean, I find videos on YouTube every once in a while, but yeah, it's, especially the most latest one, as the last show that just aired, right? Oh, no, what we recorded, right?
Yeah.
We won't give away too much because the show hasn't actually aired
Yeah.
right yet, but the Utah story with
Yes.
the police.
Yes, Utah Lily, yes.
So,
And that just came across my desk. The incident happened in the middle of March, but then 2 weeks later, they released the body cam of the police officer. So, and then there was all this buzz about them hearing this recording, this voice,
Right.
when there shouldn't have been a voice there. So,
Wow.
and then it came across my desk. I don't even remember how. So it wasn't through Facebook. It was
Just
through
some-
something else.
Yeah, it had a lot of views, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Well, that's great, and I'm glad we can continue to use media like that in that way and have a great show. So, Jackie, again, thank you for your time,
Oh, wow.
and I'm glad we were able to do this. We'll have
Yeah.
to do it again, maybe? I don't know. Maybe we'll create a new talk show. Maybe I'll create a show. But anyways, so thank you for joining us on this segment here and listening to Jackie's story. So that we're going to go to a quick break now. We'll be back to talk to the producers of Exodus, and producers, plural, 2 people. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back. Next up, we have the team who created their own trading card game called Exodus. Let's take a look at this quick clip and give us a short introduction as to what Exodus is all about.
Hey everyone, today's Exodus match is between two exciting decks.
Twin Cannon Angels versus Battleship Drangel.
Go through and separate the blue energy from everything else. That will be placed in a face-up pile called your energy deck.
It's a creature! Ethereal Borealis attacks directly for 6 life points.
So I use my 2 Embarrass to attack his life points directly.
Sweet!
That was brisk.
Then I will play Leech. So this one says I get to choose 1 energy from a creature or pile on your opponent's side of the field and have them discard that energy card. So I'll destroy your Darkrest Dragon.
I use my Fire Cannon Angels to finish off her remaining creatures and attack her life points directly for game!
Well, that was a really interesting video. I remember actually the shoot and how that went when we set that up so we'll be able to talk about that a little bit more. But thanks for joining us, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. It's a huge honor.
Definitely.
Thank you. And first thing I got to talk about is the shirts. We've been talking about it the whole time you guys came in. Those are really cool shirts. Now, can you talk about what is on those shirts? I mean, obviously, you have the Exodus logo, your trading card game, but what can you tell us about the shirts, Jake?
So we have the official Exodus logo on the sleeve, and the character is actually named Alana. She's a star formation made of galaxies and nebula and stuff like that, and she's actually the cover character for the first booster expansion to Exodus.
Awesome. So in the creative process of creating that character, who did both of you kind of collaborate on that, or
Yeah.
what was your creative input on creating that character?
So, well, basically, we both bounce ideas off of each other, and we come up with the concepts for the characters and write the descriptions and everything, and then we give that description to our artist, and it's so cool seeing our ideas that are just in our heads come to life as these awesome characters.
Wow.
So it's a lot of fun.
That's great. So more often than not, do you see that your artist clearly represent what your idea of the character was? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
definitely.
awesome.
And a lot of
Definitely.
times
Always
too, we'll
gratifying.
have them tweak a couple things, and they always give us a preliminary sketch. So, if it doesn't quite match our vision, we can revise it until they get it right. But
Oh, that's great.
other times they just get it spot on the first time, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
That makes it easy for you guys too, right? That's
Yeah,
great.
and it's cool though too, because the artists will also put their own tweaks and twists on it that surprise us, but we end up really liking it too. So
Nice.
it's really cool.
Okay, well that's, being someone who has in charge of creative work and comes up with it and working with others that are on the same page as you, I'm sure that's very gratifying. I mean, you're gratified and thankful in a sense that they are on the same page as you are. So let's bring it back a little bit though and just start from square one here. So what inspired you guys to start this game and to come to CMAC as well to film it? So start with you, Jake.
Yeah, definitely. So we grew up playing trading card games like Pokemon, Magic,
yes,
Yu-Gi-Oh,
yes.
virtually any game, even the really obscure ones that people have never heard of. We pretty much grew up playing them, and growing up in a Christian home, our parents were always like, we don't want you playing all these games because there's demonic undertones and things like that.
Right.
And we were always just encouraged to be creative, and so we wanted to make a game that was innovative, that you could play in 5 to 10 minutes, that took virtually no time to play, so kids can play it with their parents, or if you're really competitive, you can go to your local game shop and play in the official tournaments, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and were you, okay, well, you pretty much same deal for you, right,
Yeah.
Lexi? But I got to ask too, though, just thought of this. When you guys played Pokemon and those kind of games, who won the most?
That's easy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember I played that game.
As
and,
the
yeah.
younger sibling, I was always shortchanged in the games. I
okay.
was
Gotcha.
told rules that weren't actually rules, so.
I got you. Yeah.
It came
okay.
back to me later, though. She beats me in Exodus all the time.
Yeah, right. Like I believe in one of your videos, right?
Yeah.
You win, right? Yeah,
Yes,
I remember.
finally
yeah.
got my comeback.
Awesome. Yes, some revenge there, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so talking about the production side of things and doing the production here at CMAC of filming your card game for tutorials and showcasing the card game, what are some of the challenges you say you would face, I guess not only in the process of creating the card game, but also when you're thinking about it in a visual sense, getting it, do you have like the shots mapped out in your head, similar to how you create your characters, you think of how you're going to shoot it? How do you approach that? Lexi, you want to?
Yeah, our projects are definitely very visual, so it's very important to keep that in mind, like when we're doing our projects. And I'd say probably one of the most difficult challenges in our productions are probably a lot of the after effects and a lot of things in the post, because most of our projects are mainly done in post-production. So there's definitely like a lot of challenges trying to figure out like the deal with the after effects and creating things from scratch. So that's probably the biggest challenge.
That's great, and I remember, Jake, too, when you started your show, you were using After Effects here at CMAC for a while,
Yeah.
and at the time I was really not too familiar with it, but we kind of worked together, and by me showing you a few things, I kind of learned some things too, and that's great because, you know, CMAC members can come here and do that sort of thing, and you guys always have the resource for it too, being members.
Exactly.
Yeah, so how long has it been on air? I can't think off the top of my head, but do you guys kind of know, like, when we started your first one? Actually, no, I take that back. I can answer that, but let's talk about it a little bit more, too, when I mention it. You guys were the first CMAC studio show here,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Ever.
we
ever.
were.
Yeah, so how was that experience?
It
Do you
was
remember?
so cool. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly never thought I would get so much into all of this like video camera stuff. I just never thought it would really be something for me. And like I got here, I became a member, went through all the training and everything, and it just blew me away. Like I never thought it'd be something that I'd be so into, and I've just found a really great love for it, and it's just a lot of fun.
Great.
And
So-
you know, the CMAC staff is so knowledgeable and so friendly and helpful and professional. It's just a really welcoming environment to learn in and then to produce in, you know?
Wow,
So
yeah.
that was something that we were just like really amazed. Like we feel really blessed being able to, you know, be among the first people to produce at CMAC, you know, some public content. And it's all about making high quality content, you know? And but to answer your question, our show has really been airing for about 2.5 years because we incorporate the soft launch we did for the game, which spans the course of about a year. And then we just had the national release date in November of 2014 for our game.
Wow.
So, and since then we've produced several new gameplay videos, which each time just get better and better. And
Yeah.
like I said, you guys are so helpful. Everybody's so friendly and professional.
Yeah, and you know, being the programming coordinator and being able to broadcast those, it's great to just kind of throw that in, and it's nice. It's just gratifying to see someone who works so hard and being able to just broadcast that to the area so that other people can watch it too, you know. So I always get positive feedback, and people are like, "What is this?" Like they walk into a lobby and they see the monitor and your guys' show's on. They're like, "What is that?" You know, and it's, I mean, in a way, it's, you know, it's your show, it's promoting it, and we're saying, "Hey, you know, this was one of our first members who did this show. You can do this too."
Yeah.
So with that
That's
in
awesome.
mind, what kind of advice would you give to people who are thinking of creating a show here at CMAC?
I would tell people to take the classes and learn everything you can, and really just, you know, map out a good plan in your head of what you want to produce and how the steps you're going to take to get there, and just go for it. Start participating and get some experience. And you know that, like I said, everybody's really knowledgeable, so get your questions answered. Don't be afraid to learn from mistakes, and make some great videos. You know, so I would tell them, go for it and get experience and have fun with it and do what you're passionate about.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I never thought this would be something I got into. And I mean, I started this when I was, I think, like, what, 13? So I was probably one of the younger ones in the member crew. But I mean, if I can do it, and I wasn't really like planning to get into it. So, I mean, if I can do it, I think anyone should go for it.
That's great, yeah, and we appreciate that advice. And most of our crew today, too, just to kind of give you guys a quick recap, is a studio class that's going on. So hopefully they'll find inspiration with these highlight videos and what we've been talking about to create a show. So that's what our goal is, and we really appreciate that. Let's talk about the card game a little bit more now. So when we did the shoot, I think it was the second one or the most recent one you did, can you guys talk about the setup for that show in the studio? So how we maybe perhaps utilize the jib? So do you remember how that went, Lexi?
The jib was really cool. I was so happy we got to use that because we wanted to do like where the whole video was just basically one shot of the top-down view on the table, no like cutaway shots with different cameras. So we were really excited and glad to be able to use that jib. That was very cool, and it was probably like easier just setting that up, not having to deal with all the other cameras and switching back and forth between those. So I really liked that. That was very nice.
Yeah, that was great. And for those who are watching and don't know, a jib is just basically a camera crane. And yeah, I remember I think it was Caesar actually brought it out and like tilted it all the way down. We're like, whoa, we've never done this before. But it just goes to show that like the sky is the limit really, and you can do that sort of thing here. So
Yeah, and you can get those huge sweeping shots.
Yeah, exactly. And it was in this very room too. Actually, yeah, we did it on the first show too. I remember when we first started, we were able to utilize that and move it a little bit. And so real quick too, as we're running out of time, where can viewers find out more information about you guys?
Well, we do have a website for the game. It's www.exodus-cards.com. So players and people can find info all about the game on our website. And then we are on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter as well. So that's just Exodus Card Game at Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. So they can find everything out there.
Great, all the outlets out there.
Yeah.
Right? That's good.
All that
It's
stuff.
got to cover all your bases, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's great. Okay, well, it looks like we have a little bit more time here. Okay, we got 1 minute. So let's talk about the next step then. What does the future hold for you guys? Do you guys plan on maybe doing some more shows here, or are you going to go to more conventions and maybe showcase your card game? What's next?
Yeah, we actually have a really aggressive convention schedule.
Oh, really?
That
Yeah.
we already have on the books. So
Okay.
actually this weekend we're going to San Francisco. We're going to be at KublaCon, which is a huge gaming convention.
Wow.
Exodus is going to be the featured TCG there, and we'll have a booth in the dealer's room. And we also have several conventions through the summer. We're going to be at like Phoenix, possibly Ohio, several in California, and then come September we're going to be in Canada for the first time.
Wow.
So we're
out of the
really
country,
excited
huh?
for
Yeah.
that.
Nice. Well, that's great. Well, thank you guys for coming today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Guys are always welcome, just like every
you.
other CMAC member. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So, thanks for joining and watching today, today's edition of Members Only. If you'd like to see more about Paranormal Journeys or Exodus, you can look them up on CMAC's channels on Channel 96 Comcast, as well as AT&T Uverse, Channel 99. If you don't have either Comcast or Uverse, you can go to www.cmac.tv and watch the live streaming of the same channels online or on the CMAC's website. So thanks again for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on Members Only.